Hi, my name is Cody Hosterman, and I'm the Technical Director for VMware Solutions here at Pure Storage. I'm here with...
Craig Waters, and I'm the Senior Product Manager for FlashStack and VMware products and Microsoft products as well.
And so the reason that Craig is here with me today is we're talking about Log Insight and what it is, the integration we offer with it. So, Craig, kind of quickly, what is Log Insight?
It's a good question. So really what Log Insight does is give you a graphical visual interface into your syslog information. So all the information that's being gathered from different components that you've got in your data center, and we actually can use that and have this graphical view so we can drill into what the system log information is being provided, but in a graphical way.
Yeah, because it's really helpful, right? Because there's log messages, there's audit information from all across the stack, right? VMware,
sure.
From Pure, from your network, whatever, right? And if you have an issue or a situation, sometimes going through all these logs in a million different places is not a very easy thing to do.
Not at all, man.
Right? And so it aggregates it all, and you're like, hey, something happened at 2:15. What happened on my different parts of my infrastructure at that time?
Yeah, and it's going to give you the ability to correlate that information across the different systems. Yeah,
exactly. And so when it comes to Log Insight, where does Pure fit in?
Well, I guess really what we want to do is be able to provide that visibility from, the top level components. So it could be a virtual machine, it could be a data store, something like that, all the way down into the actual flash array itself or flash plate to determine what actual relationship there is between the error message back to the system that error is actually affecting.
Exactly, and there's a lot of information that comes out of the flash array too, right? So we'll have messages around auditing, right?
Yeah.
What user did what at 3 o'clock, right? I created this volume, I resized this object, I created a snapshot or deleted an object, or an event, right? There's a power failure, right? One of my power cables is out, right? There's a message, right? There's my capacity is almost full. Here's a messaging, hey, you're at 75% full or something like that. And so that all gets sent into Log Insight. And what we use to kind of help you describe and see that information in Log Insight is a content pack.
Yep. Exactly, yeah.
And so in that content pack, there's a variety of things, right? There's dashboards, like you mentioned, kind of showing a graphical view of certain pieces of information, like
capacity?
Capacity, hardware
Performance?
alerts, auditing, right? Who did what? Is there any failures? If someone tries to log in and can't, like there's a dashboard that shows you, hey, there's some failed logins from via REST API from this tool or something like that. And you're like, well, maybe there's credentials are bad, or maybe there's a script that's running that's just also incorrectly connecting, or maybe someone's maliciously trying to get into the array.
Yeah, definitely,
right?
yeah, for sure.
And so the Log Insight helps you kind of visualize that, so you can put it up in like a NOC center or something like that, or just query through it, right, really easily, because inside the content pack there's extracted fields. Right? So a field might be pure array name. And so you can go into the messages like, hey, I want to know everything happening from this particular array. Yeah. And the cool thing in Log Insight, right, is you can create things from those queries, right? Those dashboards and widgets are based on a query, right? It's saying, show me all the audit messages from this array, right? You can create a pie chart or a
it's
bar
very
chart or something.
customizable of that information. A customer can actually use it to kind of customize a specific view to something that's really important to them. It could be like, the performance of a volume. It could be, the size, how fill a volume is, those sort of things. So it's very, very comprehensive.
Yeah, and like a common question we get from customers is, hey, I want to be alerted on this event, right? And not every customer may not want an alert on that, right? Like not every customer wants to know when Sally created a volume, but maybe you do, right? And so in Log Insight, you can use that message to then create a custom alert and then forward an email to yourself or a webhook, or even forward it on to vRealize Operations Manager.
Yeah, that's a good point there as well.
So why don't we take a look at a quick demo of doing exactly that?
Great idea. Let's have a look.
So what we're looking at here is the Log Insight interface, right? And these are the widgets and so forth you mentioned, right? Seeing, how many messages are coming in, who created what volume, right? There's a variety of different built-in dashboards and widgets inside of the content pack itself, right? And you can get our content pack from the VMware Solutions Exchange and download it. Yep. And so, hardware messages, whatnot, things we think that'll be generally interesting to most people. But the cool thing about all this is totally customizable. You can add your own. You can even change these if you want to. Right, to be more specific for your actual environment. So beyond just these dashboards, you can create queries, right, in the interactive analysis mode based on anything, right? As I said, like who created volumes on Thursday, who deleted this, right? So, or I can just say, hey, I just want to see the messages from all of my flash arrays. And so I'll choose the extracted field called pure array name, and I'll just say, hey, I just want that field to exist in a message. So any message that has that field will be shown. And here are all of the pure storage messages from my flash arrays, right? Audit messages, volume creations, hardware alerts, whatever happens to be. But we can make it more specific too. What about, I want to know anytime someone's run an operation via active cluster, right, our active replication around an object called a pod, right? So anything that using the pure pod CLI command. And now I want to see anyone that's using a creation on a pod, right? So anyone that's created a pod, I want to see that message in the past hour. And now that I have that query, I can then also create an alert on it, right? I could create a dashboard or I could create an alert. And so I'm going to create an alert based on that query. So anytime that someone creates a pod on my array, I get an email, right? So I know that it's happening and I can see like, okay, what's going on? Is this a new pod? Is this the right thing to do? And you don't have to send an email. I said webhooks. You can forward it onto vRops. There's a variety of different options on this. And you can also configure the tolerance. Like, oh, I want to know if someone's created a lot of pods, not just one, right? Depending on how you want to control and manage your environment. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of
quite specific.
Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility on how you can build these. So, as I mentioned before, this content pack is available on the VMware Solutions Exchange. So you can download it. You can also download it directly inside of Log Insight. So you can click on the content packs and it'll actually automatically import it. Now, of course, your Log Insight instance needs access to the internet. If it doesn't, then of course you can go to the Solutions Exchange.
You can do it yourself, yeah.
So if you want more information on Log Insight and our content pack, please check the links provided along with this video, or of course go to purestorage.com. Thanks a lot, Craig.
Thanks, Frank. Cheers, yeah.